Yep, maybe some of you are saying that, but if you're gonna rock with the Booma San, you gotta know what you're getting yourself into. This is Hunting Predators #2, Infiltration, not Invasion. And the reason for infiltration is because they like to keep us all blind. And as you can see the madness on your screen, that is Korn with the song Blind. So I thought it fitting, and I had to ask you guys, are you ready? Oh man, there used to be nothing more than I enjoyed as a kid than going to Hot Topic and dragging my parents in there to buy me shirts and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, you're getting a little bit of my backstory in this. This is where I come from, and some of you parents, some of you grandparents, and people that know the youth today. I mean, I don't even have to face half the stuff that these kids are, but this was my backstory. This was the way I got out my frustration, lots of rage. The world was confusing and very chaotic and confusing to degrees that leads you into stuff like this. And this was my catharsis. So I'm sharing it here. I do find it also interesting as I was putting this together. When I first started coming to question faith in Jesus Christ and those kinds of things, Head, who's the lead guitarist of Korn, plays with 7 strings and not 6 on his guitar. So cool. He was coming to Jesus Christ, and you know, all kinds of questions around all this kind of stuff. But it helped me at the time, you know, Save Me From Myself by Brian Welsh, who's known as Head in Korn. It meant a lot to me at the time, because trying to make the bridge from pretty much an atheist view, suicidal, depressed, music like this maybe didn't necessarily help, because it just reinforces that anger and low self-esteem and rage that we have in our minds that clouds everything. It was a way for me to approach God by a guy that I trusted and admired, and it helped. And so when I make these videos, that's kind of what I'm trying to do. I mean, most people, you guys, probably already, you know, have a faith, maybe a faith in Jesus Christ, probably the majority of people here. But it's not so easy for a lot of people. And if you have friends, family members, like I said, children, and you don't connect with them, or you can't find a way, it's not easy making this jump, making this bridge from one world to another. And that's why I'm doing this, and that's why I'm making the videos the way that I do. Saw a little alien invasion there in the beginning. You know, is whatever. I have a limited number of resources to be able to work with right now, but you know, maybe that's what Project Bluebeam will look like. But you know, that's not typically what we're probably going to be facing. It's infiltration. They like to keep the sheeple blind, and so it's really tough to figure out who's who and who's good. But I'm going to kick it off here with something I thought was pretty... It took me back a little bit, because you don't know where to stand with some of these people, especially the celebrities, and hardly anybody. It's easy to tell what side they're really on, or if they're playing both sides. But I'm going to kick it off with this clip, and we'll see where this video leads. I got a bunch of stuff here I want to share, maybe some more Max Spiers. And that's kind of what I was hoping to get to, and then we'll see where it leads us. So welcome to Hunting Predators 2, Infiltration, Not Invasion, by Booma San. Let's get it.
Good morning, everybody, once again. So right thank you for leaving your posts and joining us here this morning. Jim has been a great friend of this place, and like anybody who kind of gets what we're doing here, what we're about is investing in people rather than wanting to incarcerate our way out of our problems. And so it's such an honor to call Jim a friend of this place, and happy that he's invested in you and in your future. So it's a privilege to introduce him now, a great friend of our humble home here at Homeboy Industries, Jim Carrey.
Thank you. It's so good to be here. I'm really happy to be part of this. This is a part of me, and thank you. I'd like to say thank you to Father Greg and his gigantic heart. There's hardly room for any of us in here with his heart. And I want to speak to the fact that I believe that this room is filled with God, and that you are heroes to me, and I admire you. Because when you step through these doors, you decide to be a part of this family, you've made a decision to transcend and to leave darkness behind. And it takes a champion to make that decision. And I really want to speak to the fact that I've had some challenges in the last couple of years myself. Ultimately, I believe that suffering leads to salvation. And in fact, it's the only way. That we have to somehow accept, not deny, but feel our suffering and feel our losses, and then we make one of two decisions. We either decide to go through the gate of resentment, which leads to vengeance, which leads to self-harm, which leads to harm to others, or we go through the gate of forgiveness, which leads to grace. And your being here is an indication that you've made that decision already. You've made the decision to walk through the gate of forgiveness to grace, just as Christ did on the cross. He suffered terribly, and he was broken by it to the point of doubt and a feeling of absolute abandonment, which all of you felt. And then there was a decision to be made. And the decision was to look upon the people who were causing that suffering, or the situation that was causing that suffering, with compassion and with forgiveness. And that's what opens the gates of heaven for all of us. So I wish that for all of you. I wish that for myself. I know that, no matter what I've suffered, most of you have suffered worse than that. But that's why I admire you, because you're here, and you will have grace, because this decision has been made. So I'm so glad to be with you and to be a part of this. Thank you, Father Greg. Thank you, John.
You guys are good for me, man.
And I want to say something about the program that we're introducing here. I know that it's kind of an odd thing to consider. It shouldn't be, but it's a very strange concept to most people, and especially to people that have suffered trauma and have trust issues or whatever. To trust that they can close their eyes for a moment or a couple of moments during the day and let go of the show that's going on in their heads. We are so trapped, all of us, especially those who have suffered terrible trauma, to think of that as a real thing. And there is a difference between real danger and imagined danger, and it's hard to turn that off. And meditation, for me, and for a lot of people, has been a way to turn that off, and or recognize that those thoughts are just thoughts. And like clouds that cross the sky, they will pass on. And to gently pull yourself back to a place of peace. And just to stop the spiral of thought, man. We get up in the morning and we open our eyes and the show begins, you know, and it's a thriller for some people. And you can't help but get caught up in it. And it's important a couple of times during the day to stop and go, wait, this is just as real as those thoughts. I am bigger than these thoughts. I am bigger than this body, you know. They talk about omnipresence in church, and nobody really thinks about what that means. What it means is every cell of your body is God. Everything is God. Everything is divine. So when you do good things, when you decide to transcend the negativity and attempt to do something positive for you, for your family, you are the heart of God. You are the eyes of God. When you speak from that place, you are God's voice. And when you make a loaf of bread in this place, in this kitchen, that is a Eucharist. You're blessing people with your work. You're serving the world with your work, with your effort. That is a Eucharist. That is the body of Christ. You know, and I thank you for everything you're doing. You're amazing. You're champions. I admire you.
I just want to say thank you.
So that was Jim Carrey talking about Jesus Christ, forgiveness, grace. Even looked like he was getting a little teary-eyed. So it looked like there was some sincerity, but he's an amazing actor. I'm not saying that all these guys are just pure evil. I've seen both sides of Jim Carrey. This was actually shared recently, but it was from 2017, shared by this Homeboy Industries, which is the largest gang rehabilitation and reentry program in the world. So a really great cause, or at least appears to be. And this is something that I would definitely support. I actually worked in youth corrections for a while in Oregon. And you get to know some of these kids and hear their stories, and it makes sense why they become, you know, affiliated with gangs. They're just looking for family, looking for a connection that maybe they didn't get at home, or their parents were alcoholics, drug addicts, and in prison, or not in their lives at all. And so they're looking for family. And this would definitely be something I'd support. I'm sharing it in this infiltration, not invasion decode, because this is how difficult it is to decipher what's going on in the world. And I think Jim Carrey is the perfect example of a character that we can look at, and you really shake your head sometimes, because sometimes you're like, wow, okay, there's something beautiful, something powerful. And then other times you see him on like shows like Jimmy Kimmel.
Dumb and Dumber 2 opens tomorrow. Please say hello to Jim Carrey. Is that a gang sign? Have you,
Oh, like you don't know what it is. You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
Oh, you don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
We don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what this is. Right? Yeah.
What is it?
Come on, Jimmy. Seriously, the time is up. People are hip to this kind of stuff. I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, and you're a part of it. And it is the all-mocking tongue.
Oh, I like it. It needs a
It's
scraping.
the symbol of the all-mocking tongue. And I'm sick of it. I want everybody to be in on the joke, man. You know what I mean? For years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on. You know, when they get out there in the woods in a circle naked and they decide these things and, you know, and you know, look at him trying to come it out. It's hilarious. And, you know, and I'm sick of, hold on a second. You know what they're trying to do?
Who?
This thing is buzzing. Hold on. They're trying to turn us into, you know, consumer drones of some sort. Hold on, I just got to get this.
And yeah.
Yeah, listen, I'm in the middle of blowing the lid off some.
What happened?
I'm sorry, Jimmy. I was temporarily interrupted by my iPhone 6 Plus.
That's the big one, huh?
5.5 heads-up HD display. I think what I was really trying to say was I think people will enjoy Dumb and Dumber this weekend.
And that is what I thought you were about to say.
They should all go to the theater. They should all go to the theater tomorrow and see it.
And they should.
Because we could use a good laugh. Ha, 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 ha.
So you see him on shows like that, back to back after something very powerful was shared. And I think that Jimmy Kimmel clip was about 8 years ago. But you see both sides of these guys. And now if you saw me, Booma San, who I really am, and you saw my past and you saw pieces of it, you'd be like, you know, I worked for the dark side. I don't try to hide it that I was involved with Eminem and Marilyn Manson, this Korn and all this stuff. You know, I was deep into that kind of stuff. So if you saw stuff like that, you would not think that I would be fighting the way that I am for love and light. But there's levels to this thing. There's levels to this whole thing. And a celebrity like Jim Carrey, he is one that is obviously in the public eye, but makes you question and you see both sides of these people. And you really question where or not their loyalty lies or what they're trying to accomplish. Because I want to share a couple more clips about Jim Carrey. It's interesting that his clip with him talking about Jesus was in 2017, because that's when the Q movement started. Late 2017, I think October, November. Either way. So it was around that time. It was just interesting timing because Isaac Kappy. Now, if you don't know who Isaac Kappy is, I'll show you a little clip of him. But he was kind of a C-level actor, maybe is what you'd call it. Not that I want to put him down or anything like that, but he got into some roles and some movies and started bumping shoulders with some of these people. And he came out hard against guys like Steven Spielberg, Tom Hanks, and exposing stuff around the time that led into the Q movement. And he had some choice things to say about Jim Carrey. Let's check that out.
Out of Jim Carrey called me up last week. I talked to him for 5.5 hours. He's like begging me to like get a deal with Q. Like he's afraid of the fucking brackets. I'm like, and it's just like yammering on with the crap, but like not owning up or doing anything fucking meaningful. Meanwhile, just lying to everybody. Guys, you are fucking cowards. You're going down. You're gonna fucking die. That's it. You're gonna die. If you ate kids, you're gonna fucking die. You can't get over that shit. That's a death sentence. You cannot fucking live. But what I'll tell you that you can do is possibly save your soul.
So there you have Isaac Kappy calling out Jim Carrey. And I loved Isaac Kappy, man. He didn't mince words and he came out hard. And if I would admit the way that I normally talk, I have quite the potty mouth. And I've toned it down. I'm pretty good at man, this organization, I hope it's so legit, and that these people are getting the help that they need. It's awesome to see this kind of stuff. But anyways, Isaac Kappy letting all those guys know it, but calling out Jim Carrey. So now you've seen kind of the positive Jim Carrey, and you've seen a couple little clips that kind of point towards the negative. But at the same time, this is all theater. It's all a show. And so, you know, there was some questions about whether or not Jim Carrey was playing Biden at some points. I pointed that out in another video. I don't need to get into that. But when you think about what Isaac Kappy was doing in that video, yes, he called him out by name and he said some specific things. But that also could be part of a show to set it up for Jim Carrey to play a good role in a way and not necessarily look bad from the elite reptilian, whatever these guys are, controllers of the world. So it would still seem like, you know, Jim Carrey wasn't accepted or whatever, but at the same time, you got this whole question and confusion about this character that is Jim Carrey, and whether or not he's really doing good, like supporting this homeboy industries and doing good stuff. So you get that kind of thing, and it's just like you got to think on many different levels in this thing. That's why I'm calling this infiltration, not invasion, because that's what we've had to do. We've had to confuse the enemy. And in order to pull this off, you have to be super convincing. And I think Isaac Kappy, you know, could have, you know, been calling him out straight up. Not saying that Jim Carrey should be off the hook. I know he hates Trump, or at least he puts that out there on his like social media and stuff like that. He drew a bunch of pictures, came out hard against him. Seems to be all for the agenda, but they're actors. And there's actors that aren't actors, you know what I mean? Like people that are politicians and all these fake people that are out there doing whatever in the public eye. You don't know who to trust. You don't know what to think. You know, when I think about God and I think about truth, you would think that you take down evil by speaking truth. But at the same time, Jesus Christ himself spoke in parables, and no one knew what he was doing. People expected him to take down Rome, to take down the bads, to end it all at that time, and he didn't. He had a different mission that was more important, obviously, ultimately important for all creation, in my opinion. And his sacrifice on the cross changed everything. So I question everything. I challenge everything, regardless if it's Trump or the white hats or the baddies or the people that appear bad. We got bad guys that are playing good guys that are playing bad guys, at least in the public eye, and it's all so confusing. And I think Jim Carrey is a perfect example, because now check out this clip that is also now surfacing like crazy on social media.
Back in 1989, the shot schedule was 10 shots given.
10 shots given.
When I was a kid, what do we get? 3?
It's twice as many as anywhere else in 30 countries in the Western world.
But
we give twice as many shots as any of those countries. Why is that?
Well, you should educate yourself. We want to empower parents to educate themselves. Do we need to have the chickenpox? Do we need the hepatitis B shot on the second day of life?
I don't think we can afford to assume that the people who are charged with our public health any longer have our best interests at heart all the time. Parents have to make their own decisions, educated decisions.
When the other doctors are here, and they will be on the other side in a while after you leave.
Grab them and stab them, you mean?
That was one.
This is my nickname.
Well, what will they say? Why would a doctor not want to know more about something that could save a life or prevent a disease? I don't understand.
The AAP is financed by the drug companies. Medical schools are financed by the drug companies. This is a huge business. Vaccines are the largest growing division of the pharmaceutical industry. $13 billion.
They control medical schools. I mean, these doctors are not learning about prevention or vitamins or diets.
What we're asking is for them to take a loss for the good of our children. That's a tough sell in a boardroom.
So there you have Jim Carrey and Jenny McCarthy coming out hard against the vaccines, or at least the industry at the time, and this was a while ago. So you see like this little juggling act of some of these characters throughout time, and it really makes you question what they really believe, what they really are fighting for. Like I said, you could look at my past life, who I really am, and you would be able to, a lot of people painted a picture. A lot of people gave up on me, and I've lost most of my friends, if not all of my friends, really. I don't stay in contact with hardly anybody from my past. Some of that's for a really good reason, because it just wouldn't benefit either of us, because we're on different paths now. But my parents really stuck with me, and God bless them, and I love them. And they deal with me venting and taking out a lot of my verbal frustration on a lot of this that's going on, because it's so confusing. And we're going to try to just kind of focus on that confusion a little bit, but think of it at different layers and levels, because I think we got to not just take everything at face value, and really try to understand that more is at play here with a lot of these people. Now, maybe something like Jim Carrey is, he feels a lot of guilt because he's been a part of something bad, and he knows that he's not going to be saved or whatever, or at least he thinks he's not. I do believe that anybody, even these people that have sold their soul, quote unquote, sold their soul, however that really works, I do believe that they could still be saved. I believe that God's power is greater than any power that exists, so they can be redeemed by what Christ did on the cross. And so I hope there's a lot of sincerity in those aspects of Jim Carrey, and I pray for a lot of the celebrities to be freed from the bondage that they've knowingly and unknowingly got themselves into.
If you ate kids, you're gonna fucking die. You can't get over that shit. That's a death sentence. You cannot fucking live. But what I'll tell you that you can do is possibly save your soul.
But I'm also here with all of you, and working through a lot of this really tough stuff. And I think Jim Carrey was a good example to show, because he's been trending a lot on social media that I've seen lately. I do, everything's with caution. I'm not promoting Jim Carrey. I'm not promoting corn. I'm not promoting any of this stuff. I'm just exposing things and showing maybe a different perspective on a lot of this stuff, because a lot of it's things that many of you or many people wouldn't think about or be drawn to or really know about, because we're all in our own little bubbles learning as we go. And I'm bringing a different, maybe, spin on things so that people can get another idea of what's out there, what's going on, what we need to fight for. This homeboy industries, our mission. I support this kind of a mission, and these are the kind of things that we're going to need, because there's a lot of people stuck in this. I myself have lost a lot of the people that I got close with in the rehabs that I was in. It's just weird how it works, man. I don't know if weird's the right word. Strange, indeed. I lost in both rehabs that I ended up going to, the inpatient ones. People that I was the closest with are now passed. One was accidental. He was hit on the side of the road as he was riding his bike at night by a large extended mirror. Hit him in the back of the head and allegedly killed him instantly. And then another one was a guy that was reaching out to me. He was actually, I call him a guy, but he was young. He was much younger than me, still in his early 20s. And I was still struggling with my stuff right before I had my basically last drink, and ended up in jail. All that stuff that I've covered in other videos. He reached out to me and asked me how I was doing, and I was honest with him. I told him I wasn't doing very good, and he was all positive and everything was great. And then I got sober, and I went through my awakening of reconnection with Jesus Christ and my faith. Like I said before, I go up and down on it. But either way, when I was in that second rehab, that's when I met that kid. And he was a pretty staunch, hardcore atheist. And I had read a lot of atheist stuff. And I still, I was in that second rehab, and I had reconnected with God, but I was very hesitant, because I felt like I was being kept here for amusement or something. It felt strange. I just didn't get it. But anyways, I had seen his posts, and he kind of mocked faith in Jesus Christ, and then I don't know where he was at with things, but unfortunately I found out on Facebook, of all places. I found out that he passed. People were posting about him, and social media is a weird thing. The world's a crazy place, and it's weird all these people started posting about it, and I don't know. It's just a twisted world, because I felt like some people that were probably not even that close with him were using his death to get sympathy for themselves. Very strange. I won't go too deep into that, but that's just kind of what I got. And it seemed like maybe he either just overdosed or he overdosed on purpose. Because I think he went on a spiral. Some of the things that he posted on social media were very dark right before that all happened. And I should have reached out to him, but I was just getting my bearings and I had my own stuff going on. It's just the way that life works. Regrets and things that you wish that you could change. But I don't hold it against myself too much, but because I just didn't expect it, but found that out. And so I've lost a lot of people, and this has been very hard. And a lot of people have gone through all various kinds of traumas, and if I were to go into my full story and you learn about how I got into what I got into, you learn these stories like on this Homeboy Industries, and you learn about these people, and you learn about what got them there and how they ended up in the situations they are, and if they're on a good path, God bless them, and I wish them the best. And whether a person's a good person or a bad person, I think it's within all of us. And we do the best that we can with the time that we have. And unfortunately, some of those guys aren't here anymore. And I still think about them, and I pray to see them someday in some way, shape, or form. I don't think that they were bad people at all. They are just caught up in this trap of a world. And we want to continue to expose this the best that we can, knowing that we don't have all the answers, and we won't. Maybe ever, not in this life maybe, but hopefully. And so anyways, I'm rambling on and I'm getting into some of this deeper stuff. Yeah, so let's move on to the next part of this, which I wanted to get into Max Spiers, and then I think what Max Spiers touches on at the end of this clip from this interview that he gave. So it'll be a bunch of stuff from Max Spiers.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Hello. Today we are meeting Max Spiers for the second time, and we'll be talking about incredible stuff. Hello, Max.
Hi, Alec.
Let's start with the topic of usefulness. Why we are talking about those nice stuff and not nice, and also traumatizing stuff. Why some people say that we reinforce the trauma in people. So, how much useful is that for the cleaning of this mess?
The trauma has happened. It's definitely happened. There are millions of people who've come forward and said it, and their stories from a line from all over the world. So it's like we know it's happened. Then the next step after that would be then to process the feelings and get them out, because it has to be done in stages. So if we're going to break down this paradigm that we're stuck in, this loop that we're stuck in, you have to do it in stages, steps, so the second step would be the first step would be to acknowledge the fact that it did happen.
Yes.
And then the second step would be to, it happened, now what are we going to do? How are we going to deal with dealing with it? If it's not fear-mongering, if it's the truth, how can it be?
Mm-hmm.
How can it be? If something's the truth, it's the truth.
So the truth must come out,
yeah.
And then those who can do something with that, they can do it.
Yeah.
But others, they can just
some people don't
do whatever they can.
Don't want to. Some people don't want to deal with it. So I've met a few people who know that it's happened to them, but are not interested in going down there to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
So they will stay in an addicted state, most likely, if they don't. But yeah. So I mean, there are people who don't want to face it and don't want to deal with it because they're too frightened. Because it takes a brave soul to go and start looking at the rabbit hole and what's happened.
Okay, let's jump to the topic of the Fourth Reich. So, how do you place those two groups, Fourth Reich and
The
Zionists?
Okay, I was thinking about this the other day as well. In all words, there's truth hidden in all words, and in the phonetic sounding of the words, and in the writing of the words too. If you look at the word Zion, you just change a vowel around, and you have and switch the letters around, and you have Nazi. You have the word Nazi. I don't believe that they were always running with each other. I do believe they were at odds. This is a war that stems back 50,000 years. They just weren't called Nazis and Zionists. That's just a modern day nom that they're using. But so yes, but I believe because they have the same agenda, because they both have the same. They both want to implement or put into place the new world order, that they're sort of working together now and doing working in alignment with each other, but in fight, because people with egos or beings with egos like that will always in fight and will always betray the other, but are aligned. I would say aligned. Yeah, I mean, if divide and conquer is their thing, division is their thing. To control, so for someone to control something completely, you have to always control both sides. So if you want to control a football match, you've got to make sure that you have control, not just the best team. You've got to have control of both the teams. And so the principle is, they're working like this, but maybe shouting at each other on the way.
So if these are two groups, it means that they have someone over them.
There's always a single consciousness at the top. One and then down, pyramid. But there's always a single consciousness. I say consciousness, not being or entity, because it's a consciousness, because these consciousnesses are so, if that's a word, consciousnesses are so powerful that they work through thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of different bodies at once. So I can't really call it here, a sheer, and it. It's many things.
Hive mind?
Sure. Queen bee, hive mind. Yeah.
Okay, Pindar is over there?
Right. Well, but that would be, Pindar would be the go-between between the underground crew and the overground crew. The underground ones work. Anything below is anything underground is working subconscious. So they do all the subconscious work below ground. Anything above ground is the conscious mind, because that's just the nature of the philosophy of that. So he is would be the go-between from the subconscious to the conscious mind. So he will be given orders or will be told what to do from the subgroup, and then will go and then deal with and then implement. They have structured 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, 15 year, and 30-year plan. 30-year plan sets that they follow, and he sort of puts that together. I suppose you sort of could call him maybe like an archetypical Luciferian sort of character. That's sort of in my mind sort of how I see it.
Okay, you said under and over, so explain. There are underground bases.
Underground bases, sure, yes.
And
but underground world, an entire world. It's hollow, is it? The Earth is hollow, so it's not an entire world. Oceans and
many
jungles.
Bases under oceans, underground, like under the City of London.
Yeah, the CLC-1 base.
Okay, what is there?
That's all the financial moves for the entire planet are done in the CLC-1 base. That's where, I mean, there's all sorts of military training, and the military ops training programs that go on there as well. But primarily the money moves are done there.
And Pindar physically is a human being or something else?
He can be anything he wants to be.
Okay.
Yeah, but anything. Because he has, so to be able to do that, you'd have to have a complete understanding of DNA codes. And once you do understand how DNA codes lock and unlock, it's not actually that difficult to do that. So
in 3D?
Yes. If you want, I don't understand how to do it, but if you do, once you do, you could be anything. You could be any object. Yeah.
Underground sub-shuttle.
Yeah.
Have you traveled?
Okay.
Actually, what is the sub-shuttle?
Okay. I have an understanding of it because I was given all the information, or told all the information about it. But it is electromagnetic rail system that is dug all through the core of the Earth, and reaches speeds of like 3,000-4,000 miles an hour through magnetic pull. So you can go. So you could essentially do New York to London in an hour to do what you need to do, and it's all the bases are connected. There's Australia. There are so many bases in Australia. People don't think about that and don't talk about it very much. Also, what's the slang term for Australia? Is Oz. Well, Oz is slang for Osiris too. So it's male energy there. There's something to do with the ritual, the Isis, Osiris, and Horus ritual, and Australia is representing Osiris.
And Oz, like the magician from the story.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course. Well, the Wizard of Oz is the Wizard Osiris. Yeah.
And sub-shuttle is the stations for going on the sub-shuttle are usually under Hilton Hotel.
The Hilton is completely in sync with with them. Yeah, the Hiltons run with them and work with them. Certain rooms in certain Hiltons, guests go in and then they will go into an astral state in that room, and they will have a meeting in 4D in these certain rooms. Yeah.
After our first interview, some people said that why didn't I ask you to move some objects?
Right.
Because you said that you were teaching that boy to move objects. So explain why.
Right. Okay. So most of the training is done in 4D. Most of the organization and most of the planning and all of that is done in 4D. In 4D is a much more fluid frequency. It's not dense and heavy like this. It doesn't mean that I probably couldn't if I was in a certain state. But as it stands, I'm in a front altar. This person here can't do that like that. But in 4D, I can because I did. So if we're understanding that 3D is much denser, and so that's why.
So for 3D, you need like.
I would still say it's possible to do it though. Like you need a jolt of energy, pretty powerful jolt of energy. But I think I have the potential to be able to do it. Objects fall down. I've had objects, things crack, glasses crack, things fall off windowsills, things like this. When my energy is spiked, if I'm agitated, it's just generally if the more agitated I get, things start falling.
The topic of addictions of the reptilians, like humans have some addictions like alcohol, drugs, sugar, this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Reptilians have different
are addicted to fear.
Addictions, yeah.
Right.
Addiction to torture,
yes.
to this energy. So
right.
Please explain.
Okay, so putting a human being into a low vibrational state by creating a circumstance in their life that puts them into a depressive state would then give off an energy that they like, because they like the sadness, fear, trauma, and especially tears. So somebody, with their head in their hands crying, is the energy is called Loosh, Loosh, and it's very, very high-powered energy. So for them, very, very, very. So they would somehow calculate an event, even in dreams. I mean, I've had dreams where I've been crying in a dream, and I know that the 4D it's been mixed and done so that would happen. So they're addicted to doing that. They're also addicted to the Adrenochrome, which is in the blood. Which, when you bring a human being to the highest state of fear that it can be in, the most extreme state of fear, a chemical is run through the body called adrenochrome, and if it's not a nice topic, but if the blood is then got from them at that point, that chemical adrenochrome is inside the blood.
Yes.
So you take that, and if that is consumed, the high from the adrenochrome is the highest high that you can get. So that is sold on the black market. It's Satanists sell it.
So that's why they do those rituals.
Yes, but it's one of the reasons. Yeah.
Similar topic: children in cages underground. What did you see?
Okay, so I've just seen vats of children. Vats of children in disassociated states. Some crying, some not. Some gone, just gone completely. But they use this food source. They use this to test things out on and used as a food source. That's what, yeah.
Cannibalism? For meat?
Yes. Yeah.
And it is
and also emotion. Okay, so we took the fear, energy, and the fear of a child is even more pure energy.
Yes.
For them, a more powerful energy. So to get that from a child is that children is the thing for them.
And this is in Dulce.
Dulce?
Dulce?
Yeah, one of many. Yeah.
Who runs Dulce? Because there was a battle in the 60s and humans lost.
Yeah, humans did lose. Yeah, they did. Who runs Dulce now? That's a very good question. I don't know. I know who did. I know the name of somebody who did.
But Zetarticuli.
There was an MI6. The guy who did run. This is not open information. This is like hidden information. A man named Alfred Bonner, who ran from underground MI6, was known as Original Fred at Dulce, and for a time ran Dulce. Now, but that was 90s, 80s. So now I don't know.
And another base
with the scar on his face here, which denotes German aristocracy. I mean, they have the scar down the side of their face, right? Like Mengele has. There's another name. It just came to me, but I've forgotten it. It'll come back to me.
Okay, Los Alamos.
Yeah, Los Alamos is I think Los Alamos is bigger than Dulce now. I think it's probably one of the biggest bases.
And those children, are they kidnapped from?
Yeah, I mean they're also bred. They also have breeders. They'll have female breeders down
Also
there.
slaves.
Yeah, who just are constantly breeding children for them, thousands of them. And then you've got the ones that are in the foster homes and care homes who no one really cares about. And how many street children are there? Thousands of street children. The main human trafficking, or the main child trafficking center on this planet is Rio de Janeiro. It's where they get most children from. They bring them up through to the US, UK.
And related topic is Vatican underground.
Yeah.
What happens? This kind of magic. Also with children.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, so we're going back to the point of understanding that they're using children for everything because it's the purest and most powerful energy. So that's their thing. I think that the Vatican principle is run on it's a vampiric consciousness, parasitic vampiric consciousness, and we don't ever. I mean, the Pope is a figurehead,
yes.
and nothing else,
You mean the white Pope, because there is also the black Pope.
Absolutely, yes. I don't think either of them are. The one, if you see them on television, they're not in. They don't have any power.
Yes.
Okay, because they don't need to be to have real power. You got to be unseen. Okay, so the Vatican, in terms of the Vatican, it's I mean every time I look at any of the rituals that they do in the Vatican, it's just so clearly a satanic ritual. It's unbelievable. They say Satanus in their invocations when they're doing it. I don't understand why people aren't seeing that. I think there's like a spell or something done or thrown over the masses, so they literally just don't hear or just don't see these things.
They're in a certain state of mind.
Yes, yeah. They're where they're just unable. It's impossible for them to be able to see it because it's so glaringly obvious to me. I wonder why others can't see it.
There is a short film on YouTube showing that a Polish bishop, right after a ceremony, does this and goes away.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Bang! Look at that! Look at that! Okay, so you know that this is 666, but it's also the orifice. This is an orifice right here, represents the O. Okay, the negative feminine. Okay, so this is that and the 3 6s too.
Okay.
We don't have to be blind to everything, and I wanted to lead into this little video, something positive here near the end, and it's a beautiful thing, even on this scale. It's a massive thing, but these videos, these beautiful, beautiful, heartwarming, tear-inducing videos of people, children, little ones, people of all ages perhaps, being able to see for the first time, no longer blind to whether it's color or having such a distorted view, and to see maybe their parents for the first time. It's just so heartwarming. And like Jesus did while he was here, he healed the sick, gave vision to the blind, and helped people hear that were deaf. And I'm here with you all, and I want to end on that positive note. So let's get into some of these videos and just let our hearts be warmed. And this is why we are here.
Wait a minute. I'm 65 years old. I have gone 65 years without seeing color. And it is more of a big deal to you guys than it is to me. And I've seen these videos where people get emotional. And I'm not going to get emotional.
That's okay. I just want to see how well they work.
I have been a professional wrestler.
Wait, don't put them on yet.
I have been beat up by the biggest man in the world. I am not going to get emotional.
That's okay.
Okay. All right.
1, 2, 3.
All right, so what do you have to do? Takes time to adjust, it says.
I don't know.
It's totally different.
That's green.
We'll have to get some of Harmony's books out. We'll have to do the colors.
Can you see this?
Gotta be the rebel.
Yeah. Hi, kitty girl. How are you?
Show your weight.
You ready?
Ready for this?
Good ball. Kitty girl. There we go.
Oh.
Hi. What are you?
Oh, yeah.
Can you see so well? Wow. Bea, what do you think?
This baby, who suffers from a disease and is blind, is going to see for the first time in his life today. Look at his reaction when his mother puts on a pair of chromatic glasses for him. It is a special pair of glasses that will allow him to see the world in color for the first time. She gently puts the glasses on him, places them over his eyes, and at that moment, look at his reaction. At first, for a few seconds, he will not understand what is happening. Just by looking at his mouth and face, he wonders what is going on. And when his mother asks him, "Can you see me?" he points to her with his finger and starts smiling. Just looking at his mouth, it's clear he's amazed. He is truly happy and is beautiful.
There you go. It's beeping. So now technically your device is on. Can you tell? So if you hear it. Hi, Cooper. Hi, Cooper. Hi, Cooper.
Pop, 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 pop.
Hello, he's smiling. Hi, baby. Sounds good.
I know I look like an elderly munchkin, but do I sound like one now?
It's on. My God, I can hear myself. Yeah. That's good. It's okay.
Blue.
Blue.
Orange.
Orange.
Red.
Red.
Black.
Black.
Oh, purple.
Purple.
What do you think?
What is it like?
So different, dude. Sound clear or does it sound muffled?
Sounds clear. I'm so happy for you, Mommy.
So I know a lot of us have seen these videos, have experienced the emotions that come from seeing beautiful acts that are miracles. To actually be able to see what you didn't even know you were missing out on. To hear the voices of loved ones. To experience frequencies of all the senses enhanced. I can only imagine what it was like seeing this done without technology, but with spiritual powers that Jesus Christ had when he walked this earth. When people realize what they didn't know or didn't believe, and the veil is lifted, they're gonna need us. We've said it before. But there's layers to this. And there's a lot of things that we're still learning. And God's going to put on the spiritual glasses and raise the frequencies. And we're going to be called to something way greater than we could have ever imagined before. And it'll be leading people that are stubborn in their ways. I'm stubborn, many are, but a lot of people don't want to see the darkness that has been controlling this world. And as the light shines in, it's going to pass through us and carry us and encourage us to help them. In my past, wild past, guy making crazy videos now. Been dealing with some health stuff for a little while now, and I did work in massage therapy, and as much as I've struggled up and down with God, as I've said, I have always wanted to help people and to reach them in the only ways that I know how. But while I was working in massage therapy, I noticed there are a lot of people that tend to identify with their brokenness. And they want to hear feedback about their brokenness to reinforce this as they identify with it. And I think we're going to see a whole lot of that in the population. A lot of denial. A lot of really tough psychological things are going to happen. And it's going to be the spiritual power that comes through God back into this world that's going to guide us into helping them see what they didn't even know they were missing out on. A lot of good people just don't know what they're missing out on. And we're going to help show them. And where we can't fill that role, He will show them.
Shalom.
Me?
Yes.
Shalom.
I have a question for you.
For me? I don't have many answers, but I'm listening.
Do you want to be healed?
Who are you?
We'll get to that later. But my question remains.
Will you take me to the water? Look, I'm having a really bad day.
You've been having a bad day for a long time. So?
Sir, I have no one to help me into the water when it's stirred up. And when I do get close, the others step down in front of me. And so...
Look at me. Look at me. That's not what I asked. I'm not asking you about who's helping you, or who's not helping, or who's getting in your way. I'm asking about you.
I've tried.
For a long time, I know. And you don't want false hope again, I understand. But this pool, it has nothing for you. It means nothing. And you know it. But you're still here. Why?
I don't know.
don't need this pool. You only need me. So, do you want to be healed? So let's go. Get up, pick up your mat, and walk.
I'm free to walk, like he said. Don't forget your bed.
Why does this matter?
Because you're not coming back here. That life is over. Everything changes now.
Everything indeed changes now. All for the better. God doesn't invade in our lives, and we've seen what that looks like in this free will existence here on planet Earth. Lots of unfortunate circumstances, but there's going to be reasons that we'll learn eventually as to why it had to be this way. God doesn't even need to infiltrate our lives. He is in our lives and ready at any time to put a smile on our face, to open our eyes and our ears, and to love us with all He is, which is more than we could ever understand. And I thank you all for being here, that participated in this video and this series and following some of the work that I'm doing. I put some of this stuff together pretty quickly and try to make it into something that makes sense. And thank you for putting up with the old rocker in me. And I love you all. Until the next one. Peace.